Hello, is this on? Seems to be on. Whoa! Wait, my camera! Oh my gosh! I'm not there! Everything's broken! No! Oh gosh! Oh no! Oh, what embarrassment! Oh no! Come on, camera! Okay, I'm here. Gosh, what embarrassment. Okay, let me fix some things. I need to make sure that social media knows, that everybody knows. Looks good today. I decided to try a different musician. I really liked the previous one, but it was getting stale. Hey, Igor is joining us. How is it going, man? That's so nice. Okay. Okay. We should now give me the pop-out chat. So today I'm planning to do at least 3 hours. Yeah, at least till 8 o'clock, maybe till 9 o'clock, depending on how it goes. And of course, I want to. I'm planning to get the basic gameplay going today. I think we can pull it off. There's not too much left for the basic gameplay. Not like for the game finished, you know. Okay, slowly getting stuff done. This goes. Okay, open Pico-8, please. Thank you so much. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. So let's. Oh yeah, things are working again. Good. Transition to this, bro. Okay, here we are. So something that I want to do before we begin. I changed some things a little bit. Somebody's laughing about this load Buns. So I think I had the board was a bit bigger last time around, and also I added the spatula. The spatula was missing last time around. Oh snap! Okay, so things are looking well. Right. There's also something, I'm actually convinced a friend of mine who is a musician, I convinced him to actually work on the music for the game, and this is the first time he's actually working in Pico-8. And he actually made like a prototype song, which it's not the final song yet, but you know, just something to kind of like for us to kind of establish the look and feel, you know, how everything sounds and everything. So I'm gonna perform some live surgery on the Pico-8 file. No, please don't note anything. And I'm gonna try to splice his music in. I think this is the simplest way of doing this, right? Not sure. Oh snap. Something like this, right? Looks really juicy. I would only suggest fading color 6 to color 14 with an in-between color, maybe something like 7 or 15. I'm gonna take a look at it in a second. Right. So this seems like it's the right one, right? Let's see. Load Buns. Well, that we won't hear anything. Let me. Oh yeah, the music is here. Okay, so let me pause the laughing man. Oh, yeah, there's some more experiments in here. I love it. It's so good. It's good. I like it. It's really fine. Okay, so let me see where it ends. Okay, so it stops at number 3. So we're gonna set this to end and this to beginning, right? Short, and my concern is that it might be a bit too loud when we start adding sound effects. So I wanted to also already have this short song already in here so we can test it out. So I'm gonna go here, music. How does always forget, how does the music work? Music, Pico-8. All right, so what is fade ems? If not 0, fade in or out. Okay. Right. So let's go music 0. 1000? Does it work? You think volume is a little bit problem? Or why do you think so? Because I feel like you don't really have a lot of control over the volume, right? Can you do something? You can just fade or do a channel mask. You don't really have like a fine control over the volume of the entire song. Maybe I'm confusing something. Because if you go into the notes, if you actually go into the actual notes of the song, there's like not a lot of levels of the volume, right? Like if you go into the actual thing here, there's like this is the volume. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 7 different volume settings, and that's it, right? You don't really have any other options here. So you don't really have fine control over how loud something is. And I often feel like even the lowest level of the volume is often like still too loud, or like it's still like substantial. Okay, let's go back to what Igor suggested here. So he said that fading color 6 to color 14. So color 6 is this one. To color 14 is this one with an in-between color. Like from here to here. With 7 or 15. Wait, 14 to this one. So you would suggest, oh yeah. So if we're fading from, do you mean with fading, do you mean when the actual screen fades? I mean, when you select the breaths, it gets highlighted. Yeah, so it gets highlighted now. So yeah, There's also no way. Can you change the volume in Pico-8? Can you like? Oh, you can. But that's something that you can do in your configuration, right? Okay, let's try this. See, I know that this song is already good because I already have a little bit of an earworm. I already feel it, like I already. It's good. So let me save this, exit, and open and save it again, because if whenever you close Pico-8, it overwrites your settings. And then again here. CD sync, dear CD hero 1. Oh no, see, reflexes, CD Buns, Buns. Okay, that's better. Yeah, but I'm concerned, like, I don't know if you can you change the audio settings when you export things? Is that, can you change the system settings when you export something to a... Like, for example, if I export this to a HTML file, right? Can I set the volume level for music and sound in an HTML file? Okay, HTML5. Oh yeah, you can. Or at least when you're running the Pico-8 in the command prompt, you can. Okay, it's a bit too short. I think it needs to be like twice or 3 times as long. And I think we will be fine. So let me, for a second, let me quote this out. Okay, so what Igor meant is, I mean, when you select the breads, it gets highlighted, yeah. Also, you would fade it. So from 6 to 14 with an in-between color. From 6 to 14. From there to there with a 7. Right. I see what you mean. So when you, so the different, the highlighting, it doesn't just immediately gets pink, but actually fades in slowly. I see. The problem that I'm having here is I'm really struggling. So changing the color of the individual tiles is fine, but I'm really struggling to come up with pairs of 2 colors that work together well with the background and the shadow. And I actually don't really like the red at all. I'm considering actually always using the 13 as a shadow. Because the red as a shadow, I feel is a bit too extreme. It looks so extremely vibrant. It looks like it's, you know, illuminated from underneath. So I'm already struggling with this a little bit, and so adding fading to this, I think, while this is not settled, is I can add it later on when we are more settled, but right now I think it's still something that's in flux. I agree that fading would be nice, so you can like go quickly over the different fields, and the other are fading out in the background while you're going through. Try blue and purple. Oh, so purple you mean this, and blue you mean this. So I did some experiments already. If you guys have any suggestions on good color combination, I'm still struggling with this a little bit, because also, don't save this. Let me clean this up. Let me show you what I mean. This has been a problem in the past. This is my Discord thing. Okay. We have to watch out that there's the card in the way. Separate. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, this is a bit of an experimental thing, but you get the point. So let's get this out of the way. This is my bun. Okay, so the way this currently looks like is like this, right? Like this is my shadow underneath, and it's kind of like looks reddish, bleeding, right? So blue and purple. So let me show you how blue and purple looks. So I guess this blue, right? So this is what it looks like. Kind of fine. I kind of like the contrast, the warm and dark contrast between a warm and cold contrast. The color, the temperature contrast between the two. There we go. And then, but the purple, I'm using the purple already for the outlines. So it's kind of, it's too dark, right? You have like here, you have like this nice, the colors are kind of like separated in just the right amount, and they're separated too extremely here. What? Okay. Wow, this is all the same thing. It's a huge thing. Okay. Let me move this. Blue, yes. Next to it, that purple gray. You mean the other blue, the dark blue? So 15 and 16. Sorry, 13 and 14. I'm so confused right now. But blue is 12. You mean this one? This is now 13. So this is like the dark gray, right? And then what else? 13 and 14. So this is the 14. Well, that could be the shadow, right? All right, so I'm thinking of doing this like this. So pink and this color kind of works. It's not as bad maybe as the red. Oops. Oh, I already have the earworm. It's kind of okay. I don't like how it turns like very ashen. It turns very desaturated. I wish it was a slightly more rich, and not as rich as this. This looks like super dark. But I kind of can live with it. I see you move, but I don't see how it looks. So the Pico stream stopped. What? Seriously? Let me see this. Oh right, yes, something. Oh dang. All right, I got it. I still working with this new Streamlabs version. It's kind of different. All right, there we go. Here we are. So this is now with the background is now 14 and the shadow is 2. That was my mistake. If I make this the 13 the shadow, then it works. It kind of works. But now the shadow is a bit ashen. I mean, I probably will pick this one in the end because it makes shadow rendering slightly easier because it's the same shadow color that I use for the light gray. So I feel like this might be the best solution here. But yeah, it's a bit rough. I kind of like the red because it has a bit of a color, like it has like vibrancy. That's more saturation. I would prefer it to have more saturation. Try the baby blue instead of the pink. So this and the baby blue. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Certainly fits better with the shadow color for sure. Like this is more jarring. Yeah, but as you can see, there's no like obvious good solution here. I kind of like the pink because it fits the theme of the game, and baby blue is slightly more less cute. Oops. Yeah, let's make everything pink. Woo! All right, back to Pico-8. Okay, so what are we working on? We're working on making, right, we wanted to animate the buns when they move down. Jesus, what kind of depressing song is this? All right, so animate buns. So here we're gonna just loop through all of the buns. So we're gonna use the same loop that we used when we draw the buns. Where are we drawing the buns? Here's where we draw the buns. So we're gonna pick this guy and wait, that's not what we wanted. I'm not paying attention here. Okay, where? Here. Okay, so let's go local. Oh, actually we don't need the IMAX. Oh, local I. We would probably do local I. Local I. SPR. And we need to we're grabbing the sprite from the bun sprite thing, and then we're checking if it's nil. If it's nil, if it's not nil, then we do some smart stuff with it. Okay, so the idea here is that each bun will have like a target location, like a target X, and we will like for the first experiment we're just going to move it toward the target X, and just nothing else. Where do we do this? Where are we creating the buns? I think it was gameplay, right? It should be gameplay. Redo cell buns, clear bun. get chord. If we're doing this UI stuff, oh yeah, probably we do it UI stuff, right? Yeah, reset sprite, yeah. Okay, so here is where we are setting all of the properties of each bun. Okay, let's go. Gonna create two variables here because we don't want to be rewriting this long piece of code twice. So we're gonna go x equals this, and then y equals this, x, y. So this is going to be tx and ty for target x and target y. And when we're creating the bun in the first place, then the target is going to be the same as the position where it's actually at right now. So, you know, we're like, okay, we're chill, you know, everything's fine. So here we're going to check if SPR dot tx is not SPR dot x, or y, because the buns also can move in the y direction. Then, and okay, so if the buns are not where they're supposed to be, then we're gonna move them to in that direction. So we're gonna go SPR x equals so there's a simple way of doing this, SPR x minus tx wait, plus equals SPR no, other way around, tx minus x, and we divide it by some number, let's say 4. And then we're going to do the same thing with a y. And then at the end we're going to go if absolute, the difference between the wait, yeah, okay, that's fine. If the difference is really small between the destination and our current position, is smaller than 0.5, then in which case we're going to just reset the position to the target and be like, okay, we arrived at where we're supposed to be. And the same thing for y. Okay, we should be fine with that. Oh yeah, when we're drawing the buns, something I wanted to do. Yesterday I was like in bed and I was like trying to fall asleep and I was thinking about this. And it's like, oh, I should get up and do this. No, we should get to sleep. So when we're drawing the sprites, I want to always add 0.5. And that way the smoothing works a little better. That is due to the floor shenanigans. Don't worry about that, it's fine. But I think we already take it, funny enough, we already take it into account above. So I just want to make sure. Here where we calculate somewhere. Oh man, it's kind of difficult to parse this. Maybe I just have to do something about this. Yeah, here where we calculate the hover. Yeah, we add 0.5. We don't need that anymore. All right. Yeah. Okay. Or is it okay? Oh, there's a minus there. Now there's this weird jittery thing happening. What's that? See how that jitters? Weird. That's not what I wanted. Dim, 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 dim. Let's just not floor the hover. Why should we floor it? Yeah, but now it works. Okay, so now comes the... It already worked! Oh, this is so good! Of course it works! Yes! Oh, love it! Oh, it's a surprise! Yeah, okay, that's because how I do the... Where is it? Yeah, because I copy the sprite, of course, and I put it on a different space. But it kind of, the target is still set to where it was previously, so it kind of returns to its previous space. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so here we have to do like tx and ty, and then now you can see that everything is like moving in. It's kind of funny how the new buns kind of like are just there, while the already existing buns disappear. Move into place. So good. I love it. It's so good. Ah. I know. I find it so funny. Okay, if this artist plays another super depressive song, and I will switch to artist. Oh yeah. That doesn't sound uplifting at all. Okay, I made a mistake. Let's try to a different guy. See, that sounds great. It's the same artist though. Okay, so now we want to have a situation where I'm not gonna tweak the animation too much just yet. I kind of want the animation to be like, I think the placeholder animation is fine for now. Later on I want to have like, because right now they kind of like moving in and then stopping slow, like getting slower as they come in closer. But what I really want is I want them to actually do the opposite, where they actually get faster and slam into the place and maybe like squash a little bit and stuff like that. So there's like a lot of tuning that I want to be doing. It has to feel nice to make these things work. But that's something that comes later. So something I want to do first is now I want to have the previous spots that I have here. Let me show you these previous spots here. I want to implement those next. And I want the buns from the previous spots to fly into the places, because right now just a part of the buns are animated. Only the buns that are already on the screen just disappear, move into place, and the new buns that appear are just pop in from nowhere. And I don't like that. Okay, let's save this and let's get cracking. Whoops. Make them drop from top. Yeah, that's what I planned. Yeah. Yes. Dropping them and oh, it was so great. Like they can. I want to have them squish and stretch maybe a little bit, so they kind of like feel fluffy and maybe bounce a little bit as well. Oh, there's so much fun you can do, and maybe like crumbs are flying off them. Get it with Pico? Oh yeah. My entire Pico directory is just one big repository. You can see all of my previous commits. Come on, commit this. What's wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Okay, who is this? It's still the same guy. So weird. I'm using this app called Pretzel, which plays songs that are safe for YouTube, where YouTube doesn't get like an aneurysm, but it doesn't have a huge selection of songs, and it's kind of like cumbersome to pick what kind of style of music you want. Some things that are labeled as, you know, chill out are not really that chill out. I have no go-to artist, but okay. So how are we going to do this? So I'm thinking I'm going to do this where we do the R&D buns. Here is where we initialize the board. Then preview buns. I want to have maybe like an array of preview buns. Not anything special, just like, you know, preview buns. And I just need one row, and all the other ones will come in later, right? Okay, so I need to have some good number for this. Cell buns, mailbox buns, pre-buns. Sounds a little bit dirty as well. The pre-buns. Oh, dang. The key to a healthy life is just having fun with your variable names. Oh, how is this? Nope. I just don't... MC Lars is the name of this guy. Nope. 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 Huh. That might be fun. Okay, so we're now we have the pre-buns in our... It's gonna be called Chilled Out! Chilled Out! Agretsuko style. Okay. So now the pre-buns are filled. Do we need to create sprites for those guys? I guess we do, right? We call them bun sprites. Let's go pre-bun sprite. Board W do buns, 3 buns per. Oh. This is bad though. Because the reset sprite function is custom tailored for these guys, and it's not really doing so well with the. Maybe I have to do it manually then. Yeah, let's get a manual. S equals pre-buns. Okay, everything else is okay. Just want to make sure that X and Y are calculated correctly. And with this guy, we already know that X is I, so we can go like this. And Y is going to be always the same. Let's just set I for 0 right now. Later on, I think I like it the way it's. Oh, I don't see it. I like it the way I have it in my preview picture, where the previous buns are kind of like hidden. I kind of like this. They kind of like out of the way. You don't have to show the entire sprite, you know. It's just like, oh yeah, by the way, here's something coming up, and that kind of suggests that these are next up. So maybe you can already do it now. I mean, why not? So I guess that's -8. Then that would be exactly the half, right? Let's go -4. So you see more than half. Right, and everything else is fine. Alright, and then we have to add them as well. Oh no, I forgot to save the last artist. He was kind of okay. This guy is not okay. Too much hip hop. This is the same guy. That's so weird. Okay. 3 buns per. You know what? I decided against this. Good old rainy mood. You can't go wrong with rainy mood. Okay, so I don't really like this. This is bad vibes. This is a bad vibe. There's a lot of. We're doing a lot of. How do you call it? A lot of writing here, and I don't like. Okay, so maybe we're gonna go function place sprite, like something like this, or place SPR, and it's like X, Y, SPR. And then we can go. We can take these lines here. That will basically set the position of a sprite and also its target to its actual position right now. So it's kind of like, okay, you are here. That might be a more efficient way of doing this. Because I guess we do this quite often. Right? And this allows us to cut out a bunch of lines here, or at least make them more palpable. Like this. Okay, good. Then we can leave out these parts. See how much we're saving here. And then we can also leave it out here. We can even get rid of this guy if we just plug in the numbers directly. See? And that's something I like a lot more. We could even also plug in the numbers directly here. Although that's something that's kind of like more difficult to read, I guess. But again, it's look, we don't need even this. Oh, it's kind of weird that. Like this. Okay. Okay, so this is good. So now we have the pre-bun spur. That is filled with sprites now. So let me just make sure that we're drawing those sprites as well. It's going to be a very similar thing to this, but it comes before those. So draw pre-sprites. I'm thinking actually also splitting the draw, this huge draw function, because it's so many individual pieces that we're taking care of. I'm thinking of maybe splitting into individual functions, but on the other hand, that will cost a bit more tokens. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to check if the sprite is nil. That's not going to happen, I think. And if it will happen, well, we will see immediately, right? I'm just going to go draw bun. And I guess that's it. Even skip the middleman here. Let's see if this works. There is something that's wrong. Yeah. Nice. Of course, nothing, it's still the same thing, but we're getting there. Something I'm concerned about is they're too long. Right, because, of course they're too long, because we are the board width. We start at 0, and that makes it too long. UI stuff. So we go to -1, oops. That's fine. Okay, so we got this now. Cool. So okay. Draw sprites. So now I want to have the sprite fly in from the top, right? Clear Buns. So if the top bun is 0, then else if top bun is equals, so if it realizes that there is no top buns here, so if top bun equals -1, then I want the sprite that it gets and yeah, okay, then so first we're gonna check if the slot, the preview slot, is still has some values in it. So we're gonna go pre-bun. If pre-bun, do we have a coordinate of this guy? We do not have coordinates. Yeah, so let's get the coordinates here. Pre-bun CRD Y is greater than 0. That means there is something in the previous slot. Otherwise, we're going to do something. But if there is something in the previous slot, we want the Buns I to be set to the previous spot. So it's something like this. What about J? Where are we using J? Okay. J equals. I just want to make sure that we are being as efficient as possible. So J. So we don't have to use the dot. I'm very, very paranoid about using the dot statement there. Okay, so if we're grabbing the bun from the pre-bun spot, the pre-bun spot should get set to 0. And then we're switching the sprites, so we're gonna go bun sprite I equals and then that's something that comes later. Bun sprite I equals pre-bun sprite J. And pre-Buns sprite j equals nil. Right. Right. Now, if this is not, even this is not happening, then we get into troubles, because that means there's like multiple buns sliding from the top, right? And that means all sorts of annoying things. Yeah, but let's think about this later. This is not something that we have to solve in. Multiple buns sliding in, multiple buns sliding in. This is one hell of a function here. Okay, and then here's where we loop through the thing, through our board, and we're filling in. Wait, there's one more thing. So this guy is something we have to do now at the end. Go if bun SPR is not equals nil, and so if this slot was assigned a sprite, then I want the sprite, wherever the sprite comes from, I want to slide into place. Doesn't matter if it comes from a previous slot or if it comes from another slot. That's fine. And then fill gaps in board. Later on, I think we're not going to actually have it, because every gap will be filled as we go. Fill gaps in preview board. So here we're going to just loop it through board with -1, and we're going to see if pre-buns I is 0, then let's reset it to 4 here. Let me do it like this, random. This is a function that we call quite often, and I think it's a bit efficient if we make this into its own function, and that also allows us to change it. See how many times we have this? So crazy. Okay, so we're getting a random bun, and then also we want to have give it a random sprite, right? Well, then let's give it a reset pre-sprite. Let's go like this. So we're just moving, and then we're gonna go reset pre-sprite I. So we're just a new sprite pops in from nowhere. There's some problem here. Do. Pre-bun J is not there. Nil value. Pre-buns. Okay. Okay, the X position is not quite correct right now. But otherwise, you can see the buns flying in from the top. Okay, so what's with the X position? Board X plus I times 18. Okay. That's not good. Wait, what? Why suddenly? There. I didn't change anything. I feel like I didn't change anything. Did I change something? Okay. So this works correctly, right? And then this doesn't work correctly. This is so weird that there's multiple. Like if multiple disappear, there's still just one thing flying in. Not sure why that is. Okay, something is wrong. Then J equals C or D Y. Oh, it shouldn't be Y, it should be X. That might have been a problem. Yeah. Now everything's fine. Already looks really nice. There's like look at how many buns we have here. Oof. Good. Do 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 do. Okay, so the next thing we're going to deal with is now I want, if there is like more buns, right? If there is if I remove an entire column of buns, I want the other buns come from the top, from above the screen, and I will need probably we're going to call it call CNT, column count. Call CNT equals something like this, right? I would love to fill it with values. Well, whatever, just fill it with values. Can we get around this? We could, yes. So here we're gonna go call CNT J equals zero. Now, if there's multiple buns sliding in, and call CNT plus equals 1. Then buns I equals random bun. Bun SPR I equals, basically, again, oh man, I feel like we wrote this code so many times now. I feel like this is not good. I'm trying to come up with some kind of flexible function that creates a sprite based on a number somewhere, you know. Let's try this function. Make bun spur bun x y. It's kind of like the simplest form. Like this is the basic stuff, right? And then we're gonna take this. And then place sprite. And return new spur. And this allows us to go like Make Buns per. Great. And then we can copy these guys out as well. Just everything is just one, so we don't need this anymore. And then this as well. This allows us to destroy this and destroy this. Let's see if this works. Something is wrong. Right. All right. Yeah, we're just writing this. Make bun spur buns I. Location is so the X location is. Oh, I hate so much that we're merging gameplay code and display code so much. Oof. But what can you do? Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Sometimes it's just this is reset sprite, reset free sprite. Yeah, this is here where we want to be. There we go. Board X plus this. Is it I? It's not I, right? Buns per. It's J. And then the Y location is going to be -4 plus or minus yeah, -4. What did I set on the height? That's where we do it in draw. 16. Minus 16 times, and then the call count. Bam. So now the buns will fly from the top. Let's try this. Yeah, now there's multiple buns coming in. Okay. Still probably need add some staggering maybe, so it's like and also the buns that are these here. I don't want to reset the sprite here, but I actually want to also animate this in. So no, that's not right. Yeah, I'm animating the pre-buns right now. Yeah, you're right. That's something that is so messy. Right now I'm just resetting it, but now I want to animate them in. So it's called 3 buns per. We're gonna create a bun there, a buns I. No, pre-buns. Pre-buns I. Board X I. And I. +1, I guess. Whoops! No, they're not animating in. Oh yeah, because I create them, but I don't fly them in. Right, I create them, they're not flying in. Yeah, that makes sense. Ty equals -4. Oops, not -4, -1, -4. Still not working. What? 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 Let's try this. It does work like this. So this piece of code is wrong. What? Okay, let's not make it too nerdy. Okay, let's just at least make it work once, and we can make it all cute and everything. What? Why do you like this? Do I never animate them. I never animate. I think that's a problem. Right? When I update stuff, when I say animate buns, I animate the normal buns. I never animate the not normal buns. So if sprite equals nil, could be sprite if sprite. Yeah, that's true. But I had once like a horrible bug where I set something to true or false, and it didn't detect if something was not set. Like there's no difference between true or false or set and not set. And I want to make sure that I make the distinction. I know it's probably in most cases it's probably irrelevant, but once I had this bug and it took me ages to debug it, so now I no longer trust. I want to spell it out if I really want to. I'm looking for the nil or for true or false. So I'm going to make sure that animate buns, that this works for any kind of array. I could do with each, right? With each. might be worthwhile, although I do not need the eye. Yeah, okay. Or for each, how does it work? I usually like the for next loop, but I think in this case, for each. Or all. Here for, there we go. So like this, for SPR in all R do. And then you can get rid of this. And there's nowhere where we need to index anyway. So this will work as well. And I guess this will never be true, but I just want to, just don't trust it. Oh, see, now it's working. Look at how weird this is. First of all, it spawns in the wrong direction, and in the wrong place. And then the first column doesn't even move. It just doesn't go back to the place where it's supposed to be. Whereas every column is fine. Wait. Why? This is very confusing to me. Something that's especially confusing is that this worked above, right? Here it worked. See, this worked. So what I'm confused about is why doesn't it work here? It's the same code. Oh, and now it's 4 minus 16, so it should be, I guess, minus 4 minus 16. But that shouldn't have been a difference. Oh, sometimes call CNT is right. So we're gonna if call CNT equals nil. Then we're gonna go call CNT equals 0. And now it works. Wait, it doesn't work. They just appear. Kind of works when they... Yeah, okay, good, got it. I know what the problem now is. Now we can be cute. God damn it. What's wrong with the first column? Why? Why you do this to me, column? This is bad. I hate it. Okay, you know what? You know what I do. Time for some debugging. I don't even... I want to see what's in the called CNT. Hi, Desot. How are you doing, man? Okay. All right, we have nils happening. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I'm doing okay. There's this stupid bug that I'm struggling with right now. I don't know why call CNTI. I think the problem that we're having here is this guy. Can I just do it like this? Oh yeah, we're having nils. Right. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah. Let's get this guy out and put it in here. Okay, so 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. That makes sense. What if I remove 1? That's 0. Okay. That's still 0. All of these are zeros. All of this is working as intended. Yeah, they're all the zeros. Very nice. So if I remove this, we should get a 1. If I remove this, we should get a 3. Yes. So let me see, what about the first column? Here we should get a 1. 1, 1, 2. Okay. So call CNT is counting definitely correctly. Did you solve yesterday's problems? Yeah, we're fine. Well, we're further ahead down the problem. Problems spawn new problems, as always. So let me just add 1 to everything. Just plus equals 1. And then we can maybe remove this guy, because I'm distrusting this guy. See, I don't know why the first column is always like... It's always the first column that is like... It's not appearing. It's appearing outside. Okay, I have an idea. Is it because it's not animating? Goodbye, Igor. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for your tips. I really appreciate you. Appreciate an experienced developer having my back here. So there's multiple reasons for this. Either for some reason it's not animating, and the other reason is maybe or not drawing. No, not animating. And then the other reason would be that it's spawning at the wrong spot. So let's figure out which one it is. So we're gonna move everything just slightly downwards. Well, that didn't help at all, did it? Right. I don't like the -4. So yeah, let's put the -4 into a prev y. I'm gonna set it to -4, usually -4, but now we're gonna go -4 plus 44, so it's like 40. And the prev y is where we are going to put all of the stuff. So for example here I'll go prev y -16, And when we go here, we're gonna go prefly and when we UI stuff, here's also when we're gonna go minus prefly, and yeah, that should be it, right? Yeah, okay. So we see the fudge. I missed some prefly somewhere. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I have a hunch. Yeah, specifically all starts at index 1, then stops forward through the tables. Okay, so fudge. Because I used the for the all loop, and the all loop skips the 1. I hate this. I hate silly stuff like this. This is just super annoying now. So let's just start at 0 then for I equals 0. Maybe like this. Of course not. Oh. Okay. Okay. Still not working? What? It repeated the same mistake. Okay. Okay, now it's not. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, now it's behaving correctly. Okay. So something I want to do now is I want to make the speed a lot slower, so we can see if like there's like a big column popping in, so we can see them flying in better. Yeah. This is so hypnotic. Oh, love it. Oh, look at this. Okay, so far so good. Okay, I just like playing with this. Oh, it's kind of weird how they're not drawing any shadow. Weird, right? Oh, right, because I never set a hover for them. Man, things are kind of working well. Wait. No, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm just looking for situations where the buns are moving at different speeds, but there are none. There's just situations where the preview bun slides in slower than the buns that fly in from the top, right? But that makes sense. Wait. Does it make sense? Oh no, it makes sense. The above selected one, the next falling. Yeah, I don't mind the red shadow too much. We're gonna deal with the red shadow later on anyway. And what I'm talking about is the ones, the preview buns don't have a shadow at all. But that's something I have to look into. Okay, enough playing around. Sometimes you have to just mellow out and play around a little bit. Okay, back to normal everything. Things seem to be working. Alright, and then animation back to normal as well. Updates. Maybe a bit too fast still. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so that's in the draw function where we have to look into. We always set the hover to 1, yeah. So what we can do here is, when we draw the pre-sprites, we can go something like this. And now they're having shadows. I was wondering about a silly thing yesterday. Watching the cartridge image, I saw this little mouse character hiding behind the letters. Will you do something with it or not? Yeah, I was thinking about this maybe. There's multiple mice, I think. There's the mouse character. I thought there were multiple ones. I'm not sure. So that's something that comes later when we do the gameplay testing. But my idea was that that there's two ideas of how to add the mice, and one would be that if some of the buns stay too long on the board, they start smoking. And if you don't remove them while they're smoking, then they get burned and they get thrown away, and then maybe mice carry them away, or you put them in the mice bin or something like this. And then if you throw too many of them away, then there's too many mice, or maybe you run out of mice. I don't know, like the mice indicate that you lost a bun. And so maybe there would be some options of getting mice back, so to speak. So the mice are kind of like, and they would indicate your life. I kind of like this because it kind of explains what's happening. And the mice are kind of like a good icon, so you don't have to write down lives or anything. Lives kind of seems like you're dying. You're not dying, you're baking bread. That would be one option. The other option would be, while playtesting, I noticed that removing a single bun is kind of weird. It's kind of too powerful. Maybe there will be never orders that require you to find one bun. Because that's kind of like obvious. It's very, very easy to find a single bun, right? It's not, there's nothing to it. Finding two buns, like ordered for two buns, that's where things get interesting. Like two buns here, right? This is okay. This is now interesting. This is now okay. I have to figure this out. But sometimes you want to manipulate the board. You want to remove a single bun so things align. For example, let's say, like in this case, I can, like if somebody ordered two two cinnamon buns. I could remove this one or this one. But let's say I don't have any order for cinnamon buns, and I only have orders for the normal buns, right? Or for like let's say I have an order for 2 pretzels. Then I cannot actually fulfill anything. Then I'm dead, right? I'm dead in the water. So in this case, I'm thinking that maybe the mice would indicate like some kind of special power that you have that allows you to remove a single bun. Like you can like give a bun to the mice, so to speak, to throw it away, so to speak, and that would allow you to remove a single bun, but you only have a certain amount of mice again, and then you would have to collect mice to get like the special power of removing a single bun. Because now I removed a single bun, and that's great now because now I'm able to continue the game. So that would be kind of like a similar case to some extent. Like it's not game over per se, but it's kind of like a special power that allows you to continue playing the game. So yeah, these were my 2 ideas for implementing the mice. Thanks, Diogo. Hey, hi for welcome to the stream, Diogo. But yeah, I was studying the cover in detail for sure, and I want to make sure that every aspect of it is somehow finds itself in the game. Definitely want to have the mice. There's also some cute stars, pink stars, that we also need to integrate. But yeah, so the goal for today is to get to that point where we can start having orders, start fulfilling orders, so we can actually start playing the game. So we can see what feels better. Like maybe it's fine to have single orders, because the orders are the single orders. It's not like you can give it any bun. It's still there's still like decisions involved, like which bun I'm going to give to the one order to continue playing the game. Or maybe they can appear from time to time and come to steal buns. Yeah, but it will add more code difficulties, of course. No, I'm not concerned about it. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I never thought about this. Like a mice coming in and it's like, yank, and stealing away a bun. I'm also thinking, this is a good idea actually, because I'm also thinking about the different pastries having different abilities. So this is the game I'm looking at. Guys, let me into my stupid thought process. So because people are very obsessed about, oh, I love this pastry and I hate this pastry, and please include this pastry. So the idea is, that's why I reserved this big part of the sprite sheet. I reserved like all the way down here. Like there's a lot of space for pastries. So 8 times 8, so it's like 32 pastries. And my idea, it sounds so stupid. My idea is that you unlock pastries. When you play through the game, you collect coins or points, and you can spend the points later on to unlock pastries, like pastry recipes. And then when you start the game again, you select a pastry loadout. That sounds so stupid. Pastry loadout. So you know exactly which pastries you want to have. So it's like you can choose to, I don't want to have pretzels. Instead I'm gonna have donuts. And so then the idea was that maybe the pastries have different abilities, slightly different abilities. Not something like groundbreaking, but it's like, oh, and this little detail is now different because I have donuts instead of pretzels, So the game feels fresh. Actually, it's not just like a visual thing, but actually there's like a slightly gameplay reason for this, or at least you feel like, okay, every time I play the game again, it feels fresh and new, and there's something new for me to discover. So it's not like, okay, now I have to grind this game forever just to get my cupcakes. And so to bring it all back, so I kind of like the idea that maybe the mice are stealing something, because that could be actually a feature of some of the pastries. So it's like, cupcakes. The mice love the cupcakes. So every time you get a cupcake, suddenly you have to deal with the mice. Could be a good thing. Or the opposite is like, okay, so if you get the the eclairs or something, they're anti-mice. So if you have eclairs, they are immune against mice or something like this. Pastry. That sounds so great. I need to have it in my game. the pastries change the gameplay. Adds replayability. Yeah, yeah. But the problem is I'm not sure if I have enough ideas to make it interesting. Because you know, 32 pastries. That's a lot of variation, gameplay variation, and I'm not sure if I can pull it off. Like, I can count off some simple ones where it's like, you know, as maybe some pastries have things where you get extra points if you manage to get 3 off and 2 off. Some pastries are maybe really good for certain certain orders, although, yeah, that doesn't really help too much, right? Or maybe some pastries never appear as 2 off orders; they always get 3 offs, you know. So it feels more like Bejeweled. So maybe some certain kind of orders never pop up with certain pastries. So for example, like brownies. Maybe somebody never orders 2 brownies. People always order 3 brownies. Yeah, exactly. So maybe some pastries are more resilient. So maybe that's also a simple one. Yeah. So it's like, okay, this pastry can stays in oven forever and doesn't get bad. Or maybe this pastry is actually very, very sensitive. You know, you have to remove it as quickly as possible, but it gets you more points if you remove it. So there might be like a push and pull where it's like, okay, if you're going for a high score, you get this pastry loadout. That's the optimum pastry loadout for a high score run, you know. Oh, Quargos, hi. Or that idea, on that idea, pastry that appears less frequently but always has 1x order to it. Yeah, I was also thinking about maybe changing the frequency. So some pastries are like rare, and then if you add it to your loadout, the other pastries become more frequent suddenly because this pastry then suddenly shows up less frequently. Pastry loadout. I don't know why I find this so hilarious. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. Yeah, I just hope I have enough tokens to pull this off. That's my only concern right now. Okay, so what were we working on? We were working on, yeah, I want to remove the debug because I think we fixed this bug. The issue is that it's difficult to come up with so many different unique pastry mechanics. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why we need to get the gameplay working as soon as possible, so we can see what are the things that we can change things around. Yeah, right? So what are the things where it's like, okay, here are some values that we can turn the knobs on. I'm sorry for bumping the microphones, just underneath my mouse. I hope you don't mind too much. I can try to move it around a little bit. Recently I watched a stream just to make sure everything sounds fine. I was like, oh man, I'm bumping the microphone so often. Okay, so by the way, if some people came in a bit later, so a friend of mine actually already made music, like a test sound. This is not the final music, but he's like, I asked him today and he was like, okay, fine, and then like immediately he sent me a music piece. And this he never made music with Pico-8 before, so this is new. I think it works very well. Okay, that's it. I thought it works very well. What do you guys think? Yeah, Divsot likes it. That's sweet. Yeah, it fits well, right? Like, it's kind of amazed. Like, he was like, I sent him, do you want to see my... I probably shouldn't play the music too long because it's YouTube, and YouTube will be like, oh, copyright. But here are the... he's asked me, like, what kind of style are you looking for? So here are the three inspirations, stylistic inspirations that I sent to him. Let me see. Okay, so here's the first one. So this is Misato's theme from Neon Genesis Evangelion, but but as a chiptune version. So this is by a cool chiptune guy. No, actually, it's called Neon Genesis Evangelion Chiptune. That's the name of the channel. It's just a channel that just has Neon Genesis Evangelion chiptunes. That's so great. It's a really good chiptune as well. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because I might get a copyright strike. I noticed that the chiptune guys often have somehow are. So this is the second one. So this is the Sailor Moon theme for when Sailor Moon is in school. And so I thought that was a nice cheery thing. And the third one was this one. So this one was from Tetris Attack. It was a Yoshi theme. Tobias says, I'm not using the dark theme. Why do you think should I use the dark theme? Like, I know there is like a different theme mode, but why should I use the dark one? You don't like the normal one? Yeah, so these were the inspirations. So I sent them like literally today. No, I asked him yesterday during the night, and today he asked me like, okay, what are some inspirations? At 11 o'clock I sent him this. And then that's what he came up with. Love it. Okay. Good. So where are we? So the next thing I wanted to do is I want to the question is, oh yeah, I wanted to draw the spots underneath the preview. The preview spots. Yeah, it's kind of amazing that he was so fast about this, and also like, again, he never worked with Pico-8. Like he did some research before, he did some experiments, but he never actually published anything for Pico-8, so he's pretty good. Dark mode is just a preference. Some people use dark mode for anything that has it. I thought there is like the dark mode where the background is blue, but I thought this was a usability kind of thing, where it's like if people have are colorblind or something. I thought it was like a colorblind scheme. See you, Minimus. Thank you for dropping by. Okay, let me focus it on a bit. I don't even know how to set the dark mode. I think it's somewhere in the settings. Okay, so here's where we're drawing the board, right? And so that's where we are going to also draw the this is going to be just a rect fill, right? Yeah, this is just a normal rect fill. Oh, I have the Misato theme is so bad because it's so addictive. Oh man. Oh, so addictive. Ah, got it. GUI in a config file. Yeah, some people commented that, like, maybe I should use a different editor, and I don't know. I tried different ones, and I find it always awkward that you have to press something to get then the Pico-8 window, and that's a separate window. I find that's incredibly distracting. But maybe I should do it like at some point where I get the Pico-8 window and put it where the card is right now, and then the big window becomes in my coding window. But also I kind of like working in the built-in editor for the tutorials, because the tutorials are supposed to be like this out-of-the-box experience. You know, I just download Pico-8 and start programming, and it's everything I need is right there. Because if I tell people like, oh, before the tutorial begins, you know, first you have to download, you know, Sublime Code or Notepad++, and then you have to set it up so it works like blah, 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 and then file names, and then that becomes like this huge hoop you have to jump through to get coding. And I kind of like this, that it's like just download Pico-8, run, it's there, you know. And then I got really used to working the Pico-8s, and there is really nothing I really need. Oh, an Atom theme. Oh, great. Yeah, because I prefer Atom to Sublime Code. I don't like how Sublime Code always begs you for money. I feel always bad about this. So it seems like, okay, ooh, I have to pay for this, and yeah, so I prefer Atom for work, but Atom doesn't really have a good theme for Pico-8. I kind of like when it looks like Pico-8. That makes it, I feel slightly less bad then. Okay, so what I wanted to do here is, why do I have pref Y? Oh yeah, because I wanted to paste it into Y. Oh man, Misato theme, I swear. Ugh. And the C is going to be 6. So why? Why? Why are the buns not where they're supposed to be? Does it have to do with the way you position stuff? Reset sprite or something like this? (16 minus 1). This might be it. Is it raining on thundering, or are you? Yeah, I'm playing Rainy Mood. Rainy Mood is a website, like Rainy Mood. It's just it's just a website where you can make sounds of raining going in the background. I thought it's very relaxing. I kind of conditioned myself for me to be the concentration music. I love wooden crates on site. I don't feel bad about not going out. Although I was out today. I was flying drones. It was great. I flew really well. I don't know. It's kind of nice when it's raining outside and you like you cuddle and it's cold and you cuddle with a blanket and you get a croissant and you get like all the crumbs across the blanket. It's very romantic. Right, so this is the thing I want to get. And so I guess the problem is like when we do when we clear buns here, when we clear buns, and new buns are flying in, then the target, right, the target is not supposed to be just this, so, but it's supposed to be -1. I think it's just -1. Yeah, I think it's just -1. It's not a... I'm making it more of an issue here. I think it's just -1 here. It's supposed to be. Could be -2 actually. Wow. Arala. What? Oh, right. So here's -1, and also we need to this in our UI stuff as well. We're actually setting the position. Reset this, yeah. So here we go, preview -1. Perfect. Okay, so I already see, I'm already having a bit of a headache where it's like, I also want a full row of order to automatically disappear. And that means we kind of have to wait for the buns to settle and then make them disappear. That's kind of a bit of an issue. But it's okay. So the question is, what are we going to do next? We still have 1 hour left. Let me get cracking this. Columns. Okay, so the next one is I want to, so there's 2 things, either orders or we're gonna play around with animation more. And I feel the orders might be more important. Right, moving buns, yeah, orders. So I guess what I want to have is like these guys here. And this is a bit of a problem because in my prototype I had 4 orders, but here I just like on a whim I decided to just have 3 balloons because it like worked well with the UI, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. Like if I'm gonna try to squeeze in the 4 orders like I had in my prototype, or if I'm just gonna roll with the 3 and see what happens. Also, the number of orders will change, so kind of I don't want to be committing to anything specific here. But I guess I'm going to try to copy this UI because it looks nice. That's a good reason to do anything, right? Okay, so. Orders. So let's make 3 for now.